All right, so you're prepping for a printing textile technician interview.
Big day coming up.
Yeah, congrats.
Yeah.
We are diving into some RoleCatcher insights to help you uh, make a great impression.
Make a killer impression.
I've got a career guide sample, interview questions,
Uh-huh.
and even AI tools to give you an edge.
Yeah, it's like having a cheat sheet
Yeah,
and a personal coach all in one.
exactly.
Yeah.
So first things first, let's paint a picture of what this role really is.
Right.
It's called Printing Textile Technician. But what are you actually doing all day?
Well, you can think of it as where art meets technology.
Okay.
You're taking designs and making them come alive on fabric, using all these high-tech printing processes, mixing dyes, operating machinery, and making sure those colors are absolutely perfect.
So it's a blend of creativity
Yeah,
and like technical skills.
absolutely.
Pretty cool. Now let's say you're just starting out.
Okay.
RoleCatcher's guide emphasizes hands-on experience, but how do you even get that to land an entry-level job?
That's where internships or apprenticeships can really be golden.
Okay.
Think of them as your boot camp.
Yeah.
You learn the ropes from the pros.
I get
Even
it.
if you're doing small independent projects,
Right.
it all adds up to show you're serious about this field.
It's all about building that foundation, right?
Absolutely.
Now, RoleCatcher also maps out these potential career paths.
Yeah.
Where can this role lead you down the line?
Well, the path isn't always a straight line. It branches out.
I like that.
You could become a supervisor, a manager, or even move into sales or design.
Wow.
The key is to never stop learning. Keep up with the latest printing technologies through courses, workshops. That kind of dedication gets noticed.
And having a killer portfolio.
Absolutely.
Showcasing your best work definitely helps.
Of course.
But let's be real, the interview is where you really seal the deal.
Yeah.
RoleCatcher gives us some common questions to practice.
Okay.
Ready to tackle those?
Let's dive in.
Okay.
A classic one is, tell me about your experience with textile printing processes. This is where you showcase your knowledge, but not just by name-dropping techniques. Show you understand the nuances.
So if I were to say I'm familiar with screen printing, what kind of details would impress them?
Think about different fabric types.
Okay.
They might ask, what are the challenges of printing on silk versus cotton? Be ready to talk about ink absorption drying times and how you adapt your technique based on the fabric.
That's a great point. It's about showing you can handle different scenarios.
Right.
Okay, what's another question they might throw our way?
Another one that focuses on your technical skills is, walk me through your process for preparing artwork for printing.
Okay.
This is where you highlight your mastery of design software like Adobe Illustrator. But don't forget file formats. Understanding things like DPI is crucial for making sure your design prints beautifully on fabric.
Right. It's not just about the artistic side. It's about the technical know-how.
Exactly.
And RoleCatcher's AI can actually help analyze job descriptions and tailor your responses to specific roles, right?
That's right. It's like having a personalized guide,
Yeah.
helping you hit all the key points that a particular employer is looking for.
Pretty impressive.
Yeah.
Okay, back to those interview questions.
Okay.
What else should we be prepared for?
Get ready for this one. Describe a time you had to troubleshoot a printing issue.
Okay.
They want to see you in action, how you think on your feet. Pick a compelling story that shows your problem-solving skills under pressure.
So instead of just saying the printer jammed,
Right.
I should walk them through the steps I took to identify the problem,
Exactly.
the solutions I tried, and the outcome.
And don't be surprised if they ask, what did you learn from that experience?
Oh,
It shows you're reflective and always learning.
good point. It's not just about fixing the problem, but about how you grow from it.
Exactly.
Okay, what's next on the list?
Here's one that gets at your attention to detail. How do you ensure that printed textiles meet quality standards? They want to see your process from checking colors to making sure patterns are aligned. It's all about that meticulousness.
So instead of just saying, I make sure it looks good,
Right.
I should talk about specific tools or techniques I use to maintain consistency.
Yeah,
Like using a colorimeter to match colors perfectly.
exactly. And they might even ask about industry standards.
Okay.
Do you know the acceptable tolerance for color variations, for example? Show them you're not just winging it.
Yeah.
You're following best practices.
All right, we've covered some key questions focusing on technical skills and problem solving.
Yeah.
But what about those broader skills like teamwork and communication?
Of course.
Are there any questions that target those?
Absolutely. Tell me about a time you had to collaborate with others to achieve a shared goal. is a classic one.
Okay.
They're not just looking for a team player. They want a specific example of how you worked effectively with others.
So I should pick a project where I had to communicate clearly with my teammates, maybe delegate tasks, and ultimately contribute to a successful outcome.
Exactly. And be ready for follow-ups, like what was your role on the team? Or how did you handle disagreements? They want to see how you navigate those team dynamics.
That makes sense.
Huh?
Now, RoleCatcher also mentioned that their AI can provide feedback on practice videos.
Yeah.
How does that work?
You can record yourself answering these questions, upload the video,
Okay.
and RoleCatcher's AI will analyze your delivery, everything from your facial expressions to your tone of voice. It's like having a virtual coach giving you personalized pointers.
Wow, that's incredible.
Yeah.
It takes the guesswork out of practicing.
Hmm.
Okay, back to those interview questions.
Okay.
What else should we have in our arsenal?
Here's one that can sometimes trip people up. What are your weaknesses?
Ooh, yeah.
The key is to be honest but strategic.
Okay.
Choose a weakness that's real but not a deal breaker for the role, and focus on how you're working to improve.
So instead of saying, I'm a perfectionist, which can sound a bit cliche, I should be more specific and relatable.
Exactly.
Maybe something like, I sometimes struggle with delegating tasks effectively,
Okay.
but I'm learning to trust my team members and give them clear instructions.
That's a great example. It shows self-awareness and a willingness to grow.
Okay, let's flip it to the positive side.
Okay.
How should we approach the question, what are your strengths?
This is your chance to shine.
Right?
Highlight strengths that are relevant to the role and back them up with concrete examples.
Okay.
Don't just say, I'm detail-oriented. Show it.
I like that.
Talk about how your meticulousness helped you catch a crucial error in a print design, for example.
So it's about bringing those strengths to life with stories and examples.
Yes.
What other strengths might be valuable in this field?
Think about problem-solving abilities.
Okay.
Your ability to work under pressure. Your passion for textile printing. Anything that sets you apart and makes you a great fit for this role.
Right. It's about painting a picture of yourself as the ideal candidate.
Exactly.
Okay, let's wrap up this question deep dive with one that looks towards the future. Where do you see yourself in 5 years?
Yes. This isn't about having a rigid 5-year plan.
Okay.
It's about showing your ambition and how you see yourself growing within the company or the industry. Be realistic, but aspirational. Talk about your desire to learn new skills, take on more responsibility, and contribute to the team's success.
So I could say something like, I see myself as a senior printing textile technician, mastering new printing techniques and maybe even mentoring junior team members.
Exactly. It shows you're thinking ahead and excited about the possibilities.
All right, we've covered a lot of ground here, but remember, it's not just about memorizing answers.
Right.
It's about understanding what the interviewer is really looking for. And that's where RoleCatcher's insights and AI tools can be game changers.
Absolutely.
We'll dive deeper into those in the next part of our deep dive.
Sounds good. I'm looking forward to it. These tools can really help you refine your responses.
Yeah.
Practice your delivery and ultimately boost your confidence so you walk into that interview feeling like you could handle anything.
I like it.
It's amazing how AI is changing the game for job seekers.
Oh, yeah.
It's like having a personalized advantage.
Totally. But even with the fanciest AI, you still need that solid foundation of knowledge and experience.
Right.
We talked about how RoleCatcher's guide emphasizes hands-on experience. But what are some specific projects that could really make a candidate's portfolio shine?
Well, imagine showcasing a portfolio with independently designed and printed fabric samples.
Okay.
Think about experimenting with different techniques. Maybe even creating your own unique patterns or color palettes. That's the kind of initiative that grabs attention.
So it's not just about following instructions. It's
Right.
about showcasing your creativity and going the extra mile.
Absolutely.
That's a great tip. Now, I've touched on some technical questions.
Yeah.
But the interview process is also about assessing your broader skills, right? What kind of questions might dig into those areas?
Definitely one they might ask is, how do you prioritize and manage multiple printing projects simultaneously?
Okay.
It's a fast-paced environment, so they want to see you can handle the heat.
So it's not just about saying I'm organized.
Right.
I need to describe my system maybe using project management tools or color coding deadlines to keep everything on track.
Exactly. And they might follow up with something like, tell me about a time you had to adjust your priorities due to an unexpected challenge.
Oh, like what?
Did a machine break down? Did a client change their mind at the last minute?
Oh, right.
These things happen and they want to see you can adapt.
Okay, so flexibility is key.
Definitely.
Now we can't forget about the elephant in the room, sustainability.
Yeah.
It's a huge topic in the textile industry.
Of course.
How might that come up in the interview?
Don't be surprised if they ask something like, how do you ensure that textile printing processes are environmentally sustainable? Companies are increasingly aware of their footprint, and they want people on board who share that commitment.
So it's not just about knowing the technical stuff,
Right.
but also being mindful of the environmental impact.
Exactly.
What kind of knowledge would impress them?
Talking about eco-friendly inks and dyes would be
Yeah.
a good start.
Okay.
Do you know about water-based inks or those made from natural pigments?
Mm.
Mentioning specific companies that are leading the way in sustainable practices would also show you've done your research.
That's a great point. It shows you're not just looking for a job. You're passionate about the future of the industry.
Absolutely.
But even with all this knowledge, interview nerves can get the best of us.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
That's where RoleCatcher's AI feedback comes in, right?
Exactly. Imagine practicing your answers in front of your webcam, and RoleCatcher's AI analyzes your delivery.
Uh-huh.
It can pick up on subtle cues like your facial expressions or your tone of voice, giving you insights you might never have noticed on your own.
It's like having a secret weapon to help you project confidence.
I love that. Okay, back to those interview questions.
Yeah.
There are a few more from RoleCatcher that we haven't covered yet. What else should we be prepared for?
Here's a question that assesses your commitment to continuous learning.
Okay.
How do you stay up to date with new textile printing technologies and trends? The industry is constantly evolving, and they want someone who's eager to learn and adapt.
So it's not just about listing the latest trends.
Right.
It's about showing that you're actively seeking out knowledge.
Exactly.
Maybe mentioning specific industry publications, you read conferences you'd like to attend, or even online communities where you connect with other professionals.
That's a great idea. It's
Yeah.
about showing that you're passionate about your craft and always looking for ways to improve. They might even follow up with, how have you incorporated a new technology into your workflow?
Okay.
Be ready with a concrete example that demonstrates your adaptability. Great point. It's one thing to know about the latest and greatest, but it's another thing to actually apply it.
Absolutely.
Okay, what other questions might they ask to get a better sense of who we are as candidates?
One that often comes up is, what are your salary expectations?
Okay.
This can be a tricky one, but it's important to do your research beforehand.
Yeah.
Use sites like Glassdoor or Salary.com to get a sense of the average salary for similar roles in your area. Be prepared to provide a range that's both realistic and reflects your value.
Right. It's about finding that sweet spot.
Exactly.
I don't want to undersell yourself, but you also don't want to price yourself out of contention.
Right.
Okay. What other questions might we encounter?
Sometimes they like to throw in curveballs to see how you think on your feet.
Okay.
They might ask something like, if you could have any superpower, what would it be and why?
Interesting.
It might seem silly,
Yeah.
but it's a chance to showcase your personality and creativity.
Okay, so instead of saying, I want to fly,
Right.
I should connect it back to the role.
Yeah.
Maybe something like, I'd want the power to instantly analyze any fabric and know the perfect printing technique and ink combination for optimal results.
That's a great example.
Yeah.
It shows you're thinking critically and passionate about the work.
It's about making a memorable impression while staying relevant to the conversation.
Exactly.
Now, here's another one that can be challenging.
Okay.
Tell me about a time you made a mistake at work. What did you learn from it?
The dreaded mistake question.
Right.
Everyone makes mistakes, but it's how we handle them that matters.
Exactly.
Choose an example where you took ownership of the mistake, learned from it, and implemented changes to prevent it from happening again. It shows you're accountable and committed to continuous improvement.
That's a great point. It's about turning a negative into a positive learning experience.
Absolutely.
Okay, what other questions might they have to gauge our fit for the company culture?
They might ask, what are your hobbies or interests outside of work? It might seem unrelated, but it gives them a glimpse into your personality and what you're passionate about. Don't be afraid to share your interests, especially if they connect to the role in some way.
So if I'm into graphic design or fashion,
Yeah.
that could be a good way to showcase my creativity and passion for visual aesthetics.
Exactly. It's those little details that can help you connect with the interviewer on a personal level and make you stand out from the crowd.
Right.
Remember, an interview is not just about proving your skills, it's about showcasing who you are as a person.
That's such an important point.
Yeah.
It's about finding the right fit, a company where you can thrive and contribute your unique talents.
Absolutely.
Now, we've covered a lot of ground on interview questions, but RoleCatcher also offers some career guidance beyond just the interview. What are some key insights from their career guide that could be helpful for someone entering this field?
One thing they emphasize is the importance of networking.
Okay.
Attending industry events, joining professional organizations, and connecting with people on LinkedIn can open doors to opportunities you might not have otherwise known about.
So it's not just about what you know, it's about who you know.
Right.
But building a genuine network takes effort, right?
Absolutely. It's about building relationships, being helpful, and showing a genuine interest in others. Don't just reach out when you need something.
Right.
Engage with people's content, share your own insights, and offer support whenever you can.
That's a great reminder. Building a strong network takes time, but it's an investment that can pay off in the long run.
Definitely.
Now, we've talked a lot about the technical and practical aspects of being a printing textile technician. But what about the more artistic side? How can someone nurture their creativity and develop their own unique style?
That's where personal exploration comes in.
Okay.
Experiment with different printing techniques, play with colors and patterns, and don't be afraid to break the rules.
I like that.
Take inspiration from nature, art, fashion, anything that sparks your imagination. The more you experiment and push your boundaries, the more you'll develop your own signature style.
I love that it's about embracing that playful, experimental spirit. Now, we can't talk about creativity without mentioning sustainability.
Right.
How can aspiring textile professionals incorporate eco-conscious practices into their work?
Sustainability is no longer a trend, it's a necessity.
Yeah.
Research and experiment with eco-friendly inks and dyes, explore natural dyeing techniques, and consider sourcing fabrics made from recycled materials. The more we prioritize sustainability in our creative process, the better it is for the planet and for the future of the industry.
That's a powerful message. It's about using our creativity, not just to make beautiful things, but to make a positive impact.
Absolutely.
Now, we've covered a lot of ground in this deep dive, but there's one more key element we haven't touched on yet.
Okay.
RoleCatcher's AI tools go beyond just interview prep as feedback.
Yeah.
How can their AI help us tailor our resumes and cover letters to specific job roles?
That's where things get really exciting. You can upload your resume and cover letter to RoleCatcher, and their AI will analyze the job description you're targeting.
Okay.
It will then suggest keywords, phrases, and even specific accomplishments to highlight making sure your application aligns perfectly with what the employer is looking for.
It's like having a personal resume writer and career coach all in one.
It is.
But even with the best AI, it's still important to personalize your application and let your unique voice shine through, right?
Absolutely. AI is a powerful tool, but it's not a substitute for human connection.
Right.
Take the time to tailor your application, showcase your personality, and highlight the experiences that make you stand out from the crowd.
That's such great advice. It's about finding that balance between leveraging technology and showcasing your unique human touch.
Yeah. Yeah, it really is all about just putting your best foot forward and showcasing what makes you, a valuable asset.
Absolutely. And while RoleCatcher's AI can definitely give us a leg up, it's still on us to make that personal connection with the interviewer.
Right.
Any tips on how to really nail that human element?
One thing that often gets overlooked is the power of enthusiasm.
Okay.
Let your passion for textile printing shine through. Talk about what excites you about this field, what you're eager to learn, and how you envision yourself contributing to the company's success.
So it's not just about answering questions correctly.
Right.
It's about conveying your genuine interest and energy.
Exactly.
What else can help us make a good impression?
Body language speaks volumes, make eye contact, smile, sit up straight, and project confidence.
Yeah.
Even if you're feeling nervous on the inside, projecting a calm and confident demeanor can make a big difference.
Those are great reminders. Sometimes we get so focused on the content of our answers that we forget about those nonverbal cues.
Right.
Any other tips for projecting confidence, especially if we're feeling a bit intimidated?
Practice makes perfect the more you practice your answers.
Yeah.
The more comfortable and confident you'll feel. And remember, RoleCatcher's AI feedback can be incredibly helpful for fine-tuning your delivery and identifying any areas where you might be unintentionally projecting nervousness.
It's like having a virtual coach helping you polish your performance. I love that.
It is.
Now, we've talked a lot about impressing the interviewer, but an interview is a two-way street, right?
It is.
It's also an opportunity for us to assess whether this company is the right fit for USLO.
Absolutely. Don't be afraid to ask questions.
Oh,
It
well,
shows you're curious, engaged, and genuinely interested in the opportunity.
right.
Plus, it gives you valuable insights into the company culture and whether it aligns with your values and goals.
What are some good questions to ask that can help us get a better sense of the company and the role?
Asking about their approach to sustainability is always a good one. You can say something like, can you tell me more about the company's commitment to sustainable textile printing practices?
Hmm.
It shows you're aligned with their values and that you're thinking about the bigger picture.
That's a great one. It also opens up a conversation about their specific initiatives,
Right.
which can give you a deeper understanding of their commitment.
Exactly.
What other questions might be helpful?
Asking about professional development opportunities shows you're ambitious and invested in your growth.
Okay.
You could ask, what opportunities are there for professional development and growth within the company?
Yeah.
Are there training programs, mentorship opportunities, or
Yeah.
chances to learn new skills?
Those are great questions. It
Yeah,
shows you're not just looking for a job, you're looking for a career path.
exactly.
Any other questions that can help us get a feel for the day-to-day experience?
Asking about the team dynamic and the company culture can give you valuable insights. You
Okay.
could ask something like, can you describe the team dynamic? How would you describe the company culture?
Right. It's not just about the job itself. It's about the people you'll be working with and the overall environment.
Absolutely.
What about asking about the challenges and opportunities facing the company or the industry as a whole?
That's a great way to show you're thinking critically and that you're interested in the bigger picture.
Okay.
You could ask, what are some of the biggest challenges and opportunities facing the textile printing industry right now?
Yeah.
How is the company positioning itself to navigate these challenges and capitalize on these opportunities?
Those are fantastic questions. It shows you've done your research
Yeah.
and that you're genuinely interested in the company's vision for the future.
Right.
Now we've covered a lot of ground in this deep dive.
We have.
From understanding the role of a printing textile technician to mastering interview questions to leveraging the power of AI.
Yeah.
What's the one key takeaway you want our listener to walk away with?
Remember, an interview is an opportunity, not an interrogation. It's a chance to showcase your skills, your passion, and what makes you unique. Be prepared, be confident, and let your enthusiasm shine through.
Well said. And remember, even if you don't land the first job you interview for,
Right.
don't get discouraged. Every interview is a learning experience.
Absolutely.
Use each opportunity to refine your approach, gain valuable insights, and get one step closer to finding the perfect fit.
That's so true. The job search process can be challenging,
Yeah.
but with the right tools, resources, and mindset, you can navigate it successfully and land a rewarding career in the exciting world of textile printing.
Thanks for joining us on this deep dive into the world of printing textile technicians.
Of course.
We hope this episode has equipped you with the knowledge and confidence to ace your next interview and embark on a fulfilling career journey.
And remember, the future of textile printing is bright,
Yeah.
filled with innovation, creativity, and a growing commitment to sustainability. We can't wait to see what you contribute to this dynamic and evolving industry.
That's a perfect note to end on. Until next time, keep learning, keep growing, and keep creating.